Hey everyone, this is Ty. Thanks for joining me. I certainly appreciate your time today. If you've been thinking about purchasing a lowrider ST, I want to go over a couple of stumbling blocks and complaints that people have about the motorcycle, try to address those. So let's get right into it. 5 stumbling blocks for the lowrider ST. Well, of all the comments and criticisms that I get about the lowrider ST on my YouTube channel, this is probably the main one, and that has got to be the unevenness of the bags right there. And I got to be honest with you, I get it. For you guys who complain about it and say, I just can't buy the motorcycle because of that, I get it. I really do. No problem. No hard feelings. I think at this point I've really just gotten used to it, but I do see exactly what you're talking about. And like I said, I think at this point I've just become accustomed to it. So what if you wanted the motorcycle anyway, and this was a big deal to you, what other options do you have? Well, I think there are a couple of different options. Number one is you could probably run, well, not probably, you can. Those bags come off very easy. You can run the motorcycle without the bags. Yeah, you lose your storage capacity, but you don't have the eyesore of the unevenness of the bags. So I get that. Another point that I would have to make about these is, well, there's different vendors out there, there's different companies out there who provide bags for this bike. A third option would be this. Now, I've heard somebody talk about it, and I'll tell you, if you guys know of this company, put it in the description below so I can share it. But I have heard that there is a company out there that sells these clamshell bags that are the exact same size on the right and left. Now, to the best of my knowledge, Harley doesn't do that, but if this other company does, that would be super cool. That would be cool. So again, it's just something that I've heard. I can't confirm or deny it, but don't let that be a stumbling block to you, because why? Well, you have options, to be perfectly honest with you. Probably one of the major stumbling blocks that I hear about the lowrider ST / complaints that you might say is this digital display here. You know, a lot of people just don't like it, and that's okay if you don't. I've always been a fan of it because I've always been a fan of the Street Bob, and the Street Bob has got this tech. I almost bought a Street Bob one time. I think they're really cool, and so I like it. One of the things I like about this is it's minimal. There's not a lot of flashy type of tech built into it, and you know what, I can see everything that I need to know about the motorcycle just at a quick glance. You know, I know my fuel, my mileage, how fast I'm going, what gear I'm in, all those type of things, just at a real quick glance. Now, if you don't like this, you have a few other options. I've seen companies like Thrash and Supply, right? They take that that circular analog display or gauge, and they put that on the lowrider ST. And I'm sure if they are doing that, there's other people out there doing, I don't know, who knows what, but there are other options for you if you don't like this. So don't let this be a stumbling block to you for the whole motorcycle. You can customize it however you want it. So many questions have come through to me about people's cares and concerns about the seating position or the seating posture of this motorcycle, and I get it. I really do. I've said this before, so I'll just kind of go ahead and repeat it again. I'm 5'9", and this motorcycle fits me to a T. Absolutely perfect. Now, if you're on the taller side of the population, if you're a taller rider, then you might want to consider maybe getting forward controls on this motorcycle. So the lowrider ST comes with mid controls, and it provides just I don't know, if you ask me, an aggressive riding stance or a more aggressive riding style, and quite honestly, it just makes the ride that much more fun. So yeah, so mid controls on the lowrider ST, super comfortable, really, for an all-day ride. I mean, you're not as stretched out as much as you are on a bagger like a Street Glide or a Road Glide, Road King, something like that. But even though your knees might be bent up a little more, it's really comfortable to me, and I love this motorcycle. So Can you tour with the Lowrider ST? I'm going to say 100% you can absolutely tour with the Lowrider ST. Just a quick Google search or a YouTube search is going to show you there's lots of people out there who are touring on this motorcycle because it is their primary bike. I mean, you can put a sissy bar. I've got a sissy bar on the back of this one. You can strap luggage to it and stay gone for days at a time. So I wouldn't let that be a stumbling block to you. I mean, if you want to tour on the Lowrider ST, you can. You want to tour on any Softail, I believe you can. So again, plenty of people doing it. Don't let that be a stumbling block to you. The great thing about this bike is you get the best of both worlds. You can tour, you can have sport. I don't know, man. You can have a blast doing both. All right, back to the rear end of the motorcycle. Back to these bags. It's seems like we always go there a lot, right? So back to these bags. And let's talk about storage capacity. Now, storage capacity on these is obviously lower than your typical bagger, than my Road Glide, for example. So I might have to look at my notes here. But on these, I think you get 1.9 cubic foot of space. With the Harley Davidson baggers, I think it's 2.8. Scratch that. I just looked on my phone. It's not 2.8. It's 2.7 on a bagger. On these guys, it is 1.9. That's going to be your storage capacity on these. So, got my flannel in here. Just a few little odds and ends. So, you can pack some things in here for sure. Maybe not a whole lot, but you can pack some. Enough for an overnight trip, couple of nights, that type of thing. Another option, if this does not provide enough storage capacity for you, then you can put a sissy bar like I have on here with a bag on the back of this. You can get some other stuff. You know what you can do? You can put a tour pack on here. I've got a video that I put an Advan Black tour pack on here. I'll put a link up here so you guys can check that out if you are interested. So again, you do have some storage capacity, not as much as a bagger, but there are other options to give you more room to store the things you need for a long ride or a overnight trip. All right, well, when it comes to my list of stumbling blocks and things that get in the way of people purchasing the Lowrider ST, there's just a quick list for you. But I would love to hear what you think, and if I left something off on this list that impacts your decision making for buying this motorcycle, please put it in the comments below and let's talk about it. Thank you guys so much for your time today. If you would, please like and subscribe. I hope you have an excellent day, and we'll talk to you again soon.